So we have another instance of, and this is part of the phenomena of these incarnations, we have another instance of Immaculate Conception. A vision in Gaia, a powerful force enveloping Chandramani in Kamarpukur, and she was conceived of Sri Ramakrishna. That was in 1835. In 1836, as I said, about this time of year, Sri Ramakrishna was born. As a village boy, he was extraordinary in that he had an absolutely, completely retentive memory. He remembered every song ever sung in his presence. He remembered every scripture read in his presence. And he was of such a charming nature that he was soon the favorite of the village people. He would sing for them, he would enact scriptural playlets and so on for them, yatras. And so he grew up. When he was about 10 years old, his first recorded deep spiritual experience happened. He was walking in the fields eating puffed rice, the rice fields, eating puffed rice. And it was one of those days when there were very dark storm clouds across the sky, almost black cumulus clouds. And against this backdrop of the clouds flew a flock of white cranes. Somehow the sheer beauty of this and the contrast, I'm sure, because he had such an artistic nature, threw him into an ecstatic state. And he fell unconscious. He was discovered, and he was carried back to the village. He didn't recover consciousness for some hours. Sri Ramakrishna did go to school, and by the way, he was given the name Ramakrishna by his parents, by his father. There's some talk about this, and it's been resolved. The name Ramakrishna was given to him by his father. Of course, recognizing the incarnation of Vishnu. And later in life, Sri Ramakrishna would remark that he who was Rama, he who was Krishna, is present here, he said, pointing to his own body, as Ramakrishna. He who was Rama, he who was Krishna, of course, was Vishnu. So Sri Ramakrishna growing up in his village, there's also been some talk, did he know how to read and write? Well, of course he knew how to read and write. His signature is just behind me here, his signature in Bengali. He did, of course, know how to read and write, but it was of no great interest to him. And curiously, mathematics, arithmetic, was genuinely of no interest to him. He said it gave him a headache, and as a result, he didn't study it. This pattern of self-determination continued in his mid-teens. He was asked by his brother to come to Kolkata to help run a school. The elder brother had become responsible for the family and was trying to earn money to support the family. And so he invited Sri Ramakrishna to come. And he wanted Sri Ramakrishna to get more education. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "No, I do not want a bread-winning education. I want to know that by which all else is known." But he did make some money for the family, serving as a priest, as a Vaishnava priest. That was his training. He was a trained Vaishnava priest. And he was quite popular among people in that quarter of Calcutta where he and his brother lived. Families would hire him to do ceremonies for them. They would pay him to do these ceremonies. But he was particularly popular because of his bright nature, his sweetness, the sincerity and earnestness with which he did the ceremonies. He just didn't go through the motions and recite the mantras. It was clear that he was genuinely communicating with the images, with the deities that he was worshiping. And of course, that's not altogether usual. At age 19, his brother, having taken a position, his elder brother, having taken a position at the new Dakshineshwar temple, a Kali temple, invited Sri Ramakrishna to join him. Because the woman who had founded the temple was of the fisher person caste, the fisher caste, Sri Ramakrishna was at first reluctant to participate. He didn't want to eat the food from the place. Until he was persuaded by his brother to at least come and offer some worship there. And Sri Ramakrishna then felt the sincerity of the place, felt the fact that Rani Rasmani, the woman who founded it, had founded it in sincerity and genuine devotion to Kali. So at age 19, he becomes a priest at the place where he spent most of the rest of his life. So if at age 19, if he was born in 1836, this means that in 1855, he became this priest. And he held various positions. Priest for Kali. And when he was priest for Kali, as was typical of Sri Ramakrishna, he learned the mantras, of course, as he needed to do to perform her worship properly. But he knew the deities that he had been worshiping since childhood. He did not know Kali. So he began to implore her, "Are you real? Is this just a block of basalt carved into an image? Or is it a living deity?" And because he was absolutely relentless in this quest, absolutely unbending in his intent, does this sound like instruction to us? Absolutely unbending in his intent to know the truth behind the appearance, she did in fact reveal herself to him. And I won't relate that whole incident. I encourage you to read about it either in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna or in the Great Master of the Divine Play. It's quite a story. He became so intense in his spiritual practices that he could no longer really serve as a priest. But the people who ran the Dakshineshwar temple somehow, by the grace of Mother, recognized who he was, and particularly the son-in-law of Rani Rasmani, Mathur Babu, became quite affectionate towards Sri Ramakrishna, recognized somehow in his heart who he was, who Sri Ramakrishna was, and so told the other priests, leave him be, let him do what he wants. And so for the next 12 years, until Sri Ramakrishna was in his early 30s, he practiced spiritual disciplines of various kinds. The traditional ones, Tantra. Now, for any of you who know anything about true Tantra, you know there are 63 spiritual disciplines. 63 or 64? 64 spiritual disciplines in Tantra. They're so demanding that most of us would be able to master only 2 or 3, 4 at the most, if we were unbending in our intent in our lifetime. Over a 5-year period, Sri Ramakrishna mastered them all. This was in that 12-year period. He also practiced various leelas. Again, please read about them in the Divine Player, the Great Master. The second section tells you all about it. Suffice it to say that he became so adept that he could take up a spiritual discipline, a new tradition, and master it in 3 days. This was proven when his non-dual, his Advaita teacher came, Totapuri. Tota was the man's name. Puri means he came from the Puri monastery, the Puri Shankara monastery. He'd been the head of that monastery, had, as was the custom, he had achieved his goal of realization, and so abdicated his position and began to wander to teach. He came to Sri Ramakrishna and said, you look like a fit student. Would you like to learn Advaita? And Sri Ramakrishna said, well, I have to ask my mother. Now, Tota thought that he meant he was going to go ask his physical mother. Instead, Sri Ramakrishna went to the shrine of the Kali temple, prostrated before Mother, and asked her permission, which she granted. Now, given that the divinity is omniscient, she knew what was going to happen. Sri Ramakrishna began to practice as Tota taught him. And after a couple of days, he told Tota, I can't do it. The moment I start to go that direction, Mother appears before me, and I become entranced and can't go forward. And so Tota told him, concentrate here. And he picked up a piece of broken glass and he dug it into Sri Ramakrishna's forehead here and used this sword of discrimination. So Sri Ramakrishna did what he was told. And when Mother appeared before him, he literally visualized taking a sword and cutting her in half. She parted, and he went forward. Now, as I said, the mother knew this was going to happen. This is what she granted when she granted him permission. And so Sri Ramakrishna went into Nirvikalpa Samadhi on the third day. The third day of his study with Tota. Totapuri could not believe his eyes. He said, 40 years it took me to achieve this state. 40 years from my boyhood. He'd been studying since his boyhood when he went to that Puri monastery. 40 years it took me. And here he's achieved this state in 3 days. Now there's a great story, I won't go into the details, but there's a great story that Totapuri had something to learn from Sri Ramakrishna as well, and from the mother, from Kali. But to go ahead with the life of Sri Ramakrishna. It was at about this time, in his 30s, that he had already been declared an avatar. His first teacher, a woman, this is also significant in terms of the developments of the world since then and going forward. Sri Ramakrishna's first formal guru was a woman, the Bhairavi Brahmani. She was the one who taught him the Tantra disciplines and other things. But among the other things that she had done was call a gathering of pundits and saints to declare him an avatar. 2 of them, the most prominent, were Vaishnavacharan, who was the most prominent Vaishnava saint at the time, and a remarkable person named Gauri from the Shaivite tradition. Now, the conference opened. Bhairavi Brahmani made her case. Vaishnavacharan said, having asked some questions, of course, as did others. And Sri Ramakrishna said, I don't know anything about any of this. He acted as if he acted as a child. But the Brahmani made her case. And Sri Ramakrishna was declared an avatar by Vaishnavacharya, which was a remarkable thing by itself. Gauri was late, a couple of days late. Now, because of who he was, when he came, he did what was typical of him. To announce himself, he roared at a volume that was inhuman, beyond human capacity. Sri Ramakrishna roared louder. No one had ever heard Sri Ramakrishna utter anything like this. Gauri roared yet louder. Sri Ramakrishna roared yet louder. By this time, the whole temple compound was shaking, trembling. Gauri roared yet louder, and Sri Ramakrishna roared louder yet. Gauri knew that this could only come from someone who was omnipotent. And so he immediately acceded. When he was told what Vaishnavacharya had said, he said, why should I argue? So now, having accomplished his spiritual journey, having studied all these spiritual disciplines, including Christianity and Islam, having achieved the full realization of the Christian path and the Muslim path, each time in 3 days, Sri Ramakrishna began to call for his disciples. and they began to come. Brahmananda, of course, he had been married to Sri Sharada Devi when she was just a child, 5 years old. She came to him in Dakshineshwar when she was 18 years old. And she served him off and on for the rest of his life. Sometimes she would go back to her home village. Sometimes she would go to Kamarpur. But most of the time, or much of the time, she spent serving him there in Dakshineshwar. She became his first disciple, and he said, I am conferring my work on you. You will do much more than I. When I pass from the body, the responsibility will become yours. So she became his first disciple. Then Brahmananda, then Vivekananda, then all of the others, householders, monastics. And it proved true that when the master left the body in 1886, Mother took up the work. And again, the beginnings of it were very difficult for her, very difficult. You can read about these things. She nearly starved to death. Nevertheless, she ended up with at least a couple of thousands of disciples. Yesterday, people from here, Aditya, Shubhra, Sundar, and Niranjana went to see some people in Chattanooga, Tennessee, that are some of the last disciples of Swami Vijnanananda. And I don't remember whether it was her father or his father, one of those had been a disciple of Holy Mother. We have to remember, Holy Mother left the body only 100 years ago, 1920. So present she is. Nevertheless, we'll continue with the final chapter of Sri Ramakrishna's life. Living at Dakshineshwar, he developed a sore in his throat. It turned out to be throat cancer. There are various explanations of why such a one would have such a disease. The most acceptable, apparently definite reason seems to be that he took on the great karmic debt in order to create the saint Girish Ghosh. He took on his karmic debt. And again, if you read the Master's life and you read about Girish Ghosh, probably one of the greatest reprobates and dissolute characters, great personality, but as degenerate as a human being can be. And Sri Ramakrishna transformed him into a saint. But in doing so, he took on his karmic debt. This is one explanation, the most prevalent explanation for the reason for Sri Ramakrishna's throat cancer. Over the next 5 years or so, it became worse and worse. But the final chapters of Sri Ramakrishna's life, he was gathering to him many people who were both influential in Kolkata and would go on to revolutionize monasticism in India. Swami Vivekananda, Swami Brahmananda. Never before had an order of monastics in India served in the way that the Ramakrishna order monks served. They were scorned. Oh, this is women's work that they're doing. Vivekananda said, persist. Ramananda made it happen. The order grew and grew. So these people were gathering to him. And in August of 1886, the master passed away. But he only passed out of his physical body, not out of his subtle body. And he said, for the next 200 years, I will be with you in my subtle body. So when Aditya calls to him today, I suspect it won't be, he won't be so far away. I suspect he's already here with us. But nevertheless, we can imagine, we can hold in our hearts, not just imagine, but hold in our hearts that the Master is actually with us. Gott mit uns, God with us. Not just in a picture, but the pictures are powerful in themselves. The reality is, according to Holy Mother, the picture is the divine person. She said we're very, very fortunate, most fortunate, to have these pictures of the Master. So Sri Ramakrishna lived for 50 years. What he became resulted in, as I said at the very beginning, this shrine pose picture and other pictures of him and his associates being in millions of homes all over the world, only 134 years after his death. Amazing. Gratifying. And if we are to believe what he, Holy Mother, Vivekananda, Brahmananda, and the others said, not just all of that, but world transforming into the new age that is just dawning, a new Satya, golden age. So let us be so joyous in our hearts as we celebrate the Master's birthday. Let us think, this is a truth that lives in me, lives in me. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Shri Ramakrishna. Jai Shri Ramakrishna. Jai Shri Ramakrishna. Aditya, all yours.
Namaste everybody. I'm greeting Thakur's Puja. So as I have repeated myself again and again about the pujas, we do it together. It's not just me doing it. And as Brother rightly pointed out that Thakur is nowhere else, but actually he is within us. I mean, it's not any. So it's just he's within us. We just need to see him in ourselves and realize our true nature as him, or yeah, just as you want to pursue it. And so today in the puja, what we'll do is that we will invoke him from within, and then I will offer him a seat in a lotus flower when I meditate. And then after making offerings of these internal items like prana and all the indriyas, everything, all our actions, whatever we do are offered to him. And after, so this is called the internal or the mansik puja, the mental worship. After that, the worship is done with these external items, which would include water for washing the feet, because when a guest comes, so you're treating him as elder or guest. So when he comes, you wash his feet, then offer him arghya, make an offering of flower and bilva leaves, and then offer him water for rinsing his mouth. Then it is followed by water for bathing, then some fragrance, then which is followed by flower offering, and then it is followed by dhoop, which is incense, and then lamb. Then we make the offering of food, which all of you have gotten to be offered. So that's how we proceed. And because this is a tantric puja, and in all other pujas also, other ways, whether it be Puranic or Vedic, the puja is a process of cleansing yourself. So basically, it's not that you are not him or he is not you. It's just that there are these impurities, or they are called malas that have, or kanchukas, like these ropes which are hiding us from our own reality, our own real nature. So puja is a process of trying to clean that, clean and remove those malas or impurities, or open the kanchukas, or these ropes, untying them so that you could be free in your own nature. So yeah, that's what we do. And again, I repeat my tantric dictum all the time from Nirvana Tantra: Devam Bhutva Devam Yajet, Devo Bhutva Devam Yajet. So becoming the deity you worship it. So that's what we'll do. We'll try to do that. So I will begin, and I won't speak in between because it's difficult, because explaining what I'm doing and then doing it takes your mind away from what's really happening. So therefore I have briefed the puja in the beginning itself. So we'll begin with these cleansing rituals, cleaning everything, body internally, externally, and then all these vessels, making them one with the divinity, and then we proceed on with the puja part. So we first we made our pranams to Vishnu, because he is the deity of all the yajnas and all the good things that we do, or anything that's auspicious. So, सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं वरेण्यं वरदं शुभं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य सर्वकर्माणि कारये. ओम विष्णु, 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 ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुराततम्। ॐ अपवित्रः पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थाङ्गतोऽपि वा यः स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं स वायाभ्यन्तरः शुचिः। ॐ ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे आधारशक्तादिभ्यो नमः। नमः 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 ॐ गंगे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धु कावेरी जलेऽस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे सर्वेभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो नमः। ॐ द्वारदेवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे द्वारदेवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे ब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे वास्तुपुरुषाय नमः। ॐ अपसर्पन्तिके भूता ये भूताभिसंस्थिता ये भूता विघ्नकर्ता ते नश्यन्तु शिवाज्ञया। ॐ रक्ष रक्ष हुं फट् स्वाहा। ॐ ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे आधारशक्तादिभ्यो नमः। ॐ अस्यासनोपवेशनमन्त्रस्य मेरुपृष्ठः ऋषिः सुतलं छन्दः कुर्मो देवता स नो आसनोपवेशने विनियोगः। ॐ पृथिवी त्वया धृता लोका देवी त्वं विष्णुना धृता त्वं च धारय मां नित्यं पवित्रं कुरु चासनम्। ॐ ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे आधारशक्तये कमलासनाय नमः। ऐं गुरुभ्यो नमः। ऐं परं गुरुभ्यो नमः। ऐं परं परापरा गुरुभ्यो नमः। ऐं परमेष्ठि गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ गणेशाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ शताभिषेक हुं फट् स्वाहा। ॐ शताभिषेक हुं फट् स्वाहा। ॐ शताभिषेक हुं फट् स्वाहा। ॐ पुष्पे पुष्पे महापुष्पे सुपुष्पे पुष्पसंभवे पुष्पे च यावकीर्णे च हुं फट् स्वाहा। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं फट्। ॐ ऐं फट्। ॐ ऐं फट्। अमैं मं कमैं कं चमैं चं टमैं टं तमैं तं पमैं पं यमैं यं शमैं शम्। रं 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 ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ दुर्गे दुर्गे रक्षिणी स्वाहा। ॐ आं हुं फट् स्वाहा। ॐ दुर्गे दुर्गे रक्षिणी स्वाहा। ॐ आं हुं फट् स्वाहा। ॐ दुर्गे दुर्गे रक्षिणी स्वाहा। ॐ आं हुं फट् स्वाहा। ॐ भूतशृङ्गाटाच्चिरः सुषुम्नापथेन जीवशिवं परमशिवपदे योजयामि स्वाहा। ॐ यं लिङ्गशरीरं शोषय शोषय स्वाहा। ॐ रं सङ्कोचशरीरं दह दह स्वाहा। ॐ परमशिव सुषुम्नापथेन मूलशृङ्गाटमुल्लसोल्लस ज्वल ज्वल प्रज्वल प्रज्वल सोऽहं हंसः स्वाहा। आं हूं फट् स्वाहा। आं हूं फट् स्वाहा। आं हूं फट् स्वाहा। सोऽहम्। आं ह्रीं क्रों यं रं नमः शं सं हों हं सः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवताय प्राणाय प्राण। आं ह्रीं क्रों यं रं नमः शं सं हों हं सः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवताय जीवयः स्थितः। आं ह्रीं क्रों यं रं नमः शं सं हों हं सः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवताय सर्वेन्द्रियाणि। आं ह्रीं क्रों यं रं नमः शं सं हों हं सः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः वाङ्मनश्चक्षुत्वक्षोत्रघ्राणप्राणैहागत्य सुरं चिरं तिष्ठन्तु स्वाहा। ॐ अस्य मातृकामन्त्रस्य ब्रह्म ऋषि गायत्री छन्दः देवी मातृका सरस्वती देवता हलो बीजानि स्वराः शक्तयः अव्यक्तकीलकं सर्वाभीष्टसिद्धये लिपिन्यासे विनियोगः। ॐ ब्रह्मणे ऋषये नमः। ॐ गायत्री छन्दसे नमः। ॐ देवी मातृका सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ हलभ्यो बीजेभ्यो नमः। ॐ स्वरेभ्यो शक्तिभ्यो नमः। ॐ अव्यक्तकीलकाय नमः। अङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः। ईं चं चं झं 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 तर्जनीभ्यां स्वाहा। ॐ टं ठं 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 नमो मध्यमाभ्यां वषट्। ईं तं थं तं थं नमः ऐं अनामिकाभ्यां हूं। ॐ पं 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 मम मम कनिष्ठाभ्यां वषट्। ॐ अं ॐ यं रं नमः शं सं संहा करतलभिष्टाभ्याम् अस्त्राय फट्। ॐ अं कं 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 हृदाय नमः। ईं चं चं झं 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 शिरसे स्वाहा। ॐ ठं 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 नमो शिखायै वषट्। ईं तं थं तं थं नं 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 कवचाय हूं। ॐ पं 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 मम मम नेत्रत्रयाय वषट्। अं यं रं लं शं लं क्षमः करतलभिष्टाभ्याम् अस्त्राय फट्। ॐ एतेभ्यो गन्धादिभ्यो नमः। ॐ एतेभ्यो गन्धादिभ्यो नमः। ॐ एतेभ्यो गन्धादिभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे एतेभ्यो गन्धादिभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे एतदीपतये देवाय विष्णवे नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे एतत् सम्प्रदानेभ्य पूजनीय देवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ नमो विवस्वते ब्रह्मन् भास्वते विष्णुतेजसे जगत्सवित्रेषु च ये सवित्रे कर्मदायिने। ॐ श्रीसूर्याय नमः। ॐ जवाकुसुमसङ्काशं काश्यपेयं महाद्युतिं ध्वान्तारिं सर्वपापघ्नं प्रणतोऽस्मि दिवाकरम्। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे गणेशादि पञ्चदेवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ गम एते गन्धपुष्पे गणेशाय नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय एते गन्धपुष्पे शिवाय नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे सूर्याय नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय एते गन्धपुष्पे नारायणाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे जयदुर्गायै नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे अग्नये नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे इन्द्रादि दशदिक्पालेभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे काल्यादि दशमहाविद्याभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे मत्स्यादि दशावतारेभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे सर्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे सर्वाभ्यो देवीभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे पञ्चाशद्वर्णेभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे एते गन्धपुष्पे प्रतिपदादि तिथिभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे कृष्णपक्षाय नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे शुक्लपक्षाय नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे अमावस्यायै नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे पूर्णिमायै नमः। ऐं ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ऐं एते गन्धपुष्पे श्रीगुरवे नमः। ऐं इदं सचन्दनबिल्वपत्रं श्रीगुरवे नमः। ऐं एषधूपः श्रीगुरवे नमः। ऐं एषदीपः श्रीगुरवे नमः। ऐं इदमानुनैवेद्यं श्रीगुरवे नमः। ऐं प्रमत्तं शक्तिसंयुक्तं बाणाख्यं परमेश्वरं कामबाणान्वितं देवं संसारदहनक्षमं शृङ्गारादिरसोल्लासं बाणाख्यं परमेश्वरम् एवं ध्यात्वा बाणलिङ्गं यचेत्तं परमं शिवम्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ ऐं इदं स्नानीयजलं बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः। ॐ ऐं मेषगन्धः बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः। ॐ ऐं इदं सचन्दनपुष्पं बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः। ॐ ऐं इदं सचन्दनबिल्वपत्रं बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः। ॐ ऐं एषधूपः बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः। ॐ ऐं एषदीपः बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः। ॐ ऐं इदमाननैवेद्यं बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः। ॐ बाणेश्वराय नरकार्णवतारणाय ज्ञानप्रदाय करुणामय सागराय कर्पूर्वकुन्दधवलेन्दुजटाधराय दारिद्र्यदुःखदहनाय नमः शिवाय। ॐ ह्रीं ॐ ह्रीं ॐ ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे गौर्यै नमः। ॐ ह्रीं पीठदेवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ ह्रीं पीठशक्तिभ्यो नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः इत्यस्य मन्त्रस्य ब्रह्मऋषि गायत्री छन्दः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवता ऋष्यादिन्यासे विनियोगः। ॐ ब्रह्मणे ऋषये नमः। ॐ गायत्री छन्दसे नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं अङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः रामतर्जनीभ्यां स्वाहा मम मध्यमाभ्यां वषट्क्रीं कनिष्ठा क्रीं क्रीं नामिकाभ्यां वष क्रीं नामिकाभ्यां वषट्श्रं कनिष्ठाभ्यां वषट्ग्रह करतलभिष्टाभ्याम् अस्त्राय फट्। ॐ राम हृदाय नमः। ॐ ऐं हृदाय नमः। राम श्रीसे स्वाहा। ह्रीं वं शिखायै वषट् ह्रीं कवचाय हुं श्रं नेत्रत्रयाय वषट् करतलभिष्टाभ्याम् अस्त्राय फट्। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। So now we'll meditate on Thakur and before doing the puja, and then we'll offer him the manasik puja, so the mental worship. And the mantra for Thakur is Sarva Deva Devi Swarupaya Shri Rama Krishnaya Namaha. So if you can follow whenever I say this mantra, you can repeat it. ॐ हृदयकमलमध्ये राजितं निर्विकल्पं सदसदखिलभेदातीतमेकस्वरूपं प्रकृतिविकृतिशून्यं नित्यमानन्दमूर्तिं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। निरूपं मतिसूक्ष्मं निष्प्रपञ्चं निरीहं गगनसदृशमीशं सर्वभूताधिवासं त्रिगुणरहितसच्चिद्ब्रह्मरूपं वरेण्यं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। वितुरितुम् अवतीर्णं ज्ञानभक्तिः प्रशान्तिः प्रणयगलय चित्तं जीवदुःखासहिष्णुं धृतसहजसमाधिं चिन्मयं कोमलाङ्गं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। ॐ दद्यात् सहस्राराच्युतामृतैः पाद्यं चरणयोर्दद्यात् मनस्वर्ग्यं निवेदयेत् तेनामृतेनाचमनीयं स्नानीयं तेन च स्मृतम् आकाशतत्त्वं वस्त्रं स्यात् गन्धः स्यात् गन्धतत्त्वकं चित्तं प्रकल्पयेत् पुष्पं धूपं प्राणान् प्रकल्पयेत् तेजस्तत्त्वं च दीपार्थं नैवेद्यं सुधाम्बुधिः अनाहतध्वनिर्घण्टा वायुतत्त्वं च चामरं सहस्रारं भवेत् छत्रं शब्दतत्त्वं च गीतकं नृत्यमिन्द्रियकर्माणि चाञ्चल्यं मनस्तथा सुमेखला पद्ममालां पुष्पं नानाविधं तथा अमायाद्यैर्भावपुष्पैरर्चयेद् भावगोचरम् अमायामनहङ्कारम् अरागममदं तथा अहिंसा परमं पुष्पं पुष्पमिन्द्रियनिग्रहः दया पुष्पं क्षमा पुष्पं ज्ञानपुष्पं च पञ्चमम् इति पञ्चदशैर्भावपुष्पैः सम्पूजयेत् शिवम्। ॐ ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे पीठदेवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे पीठशक्तिभ्यो नमः। ॐ ऐं अङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः रान्तर्जनीभ्यां च मध्यमाभ्यां वषटीं नामिकाभ्यां हुंष्ट्रं कनिष्ठाभ्यां वषडः करतलभिष्टाभ्यां स्त्रायपन्। ॐ ऐं हृदाय नमः रामशिरसे स्वाहा मम शिखाय वषट् क्लीं हुंष्ट्रं नेत्रत्रयाय वषट् करतलभिष्टाभ्यां अस्त्रायपन्। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे आधारशक्तादिभ्यो नमः। ॐ ॐ ममेते गन्धपुष्पे वह्निमण्डलाय ॐ ममेते गन्धपुष्पे वह्निमण्डलाय दशकलात्मने नमः। ॐ ममेते गन्धपुष्पे अर्कमण्डलाय द्वादशकलात्मने नमः। ॐ ममेते गन्धपुष्पे सोममण्डलाय षोडशकलात्मने नमः। ॐ गङ्गे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धु कावेरी जलेऽस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे सर्वेभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे श्रीरामकृष्ण षडङ्गदेवताभ्यो नमः। ओम इति गंधपुष्पे श्रीरामकृष्ण वर्णदेवताभ्यो नमः। श्रीरामकृष्णदेव ह्यः तिष्ठ ह्यः तिष्ठ ह्यः सन्निधे ह्यः सन्निधे ह्यः सन्निरुध्यस्व ह्यः सन्निरुध्यस्व ह्यः सम्मुखो भव ह्यः सम्मुखो भव। अत्राधिष्ठानं कुरु मम पूजां गृहाण। ओम ऐं सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। 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 हृदयकमलमध्ये राजितं निर्विकल्पं सदसदखिलभेदातीतमेकस्वरूपं प्रकृतिविकृतिशून्यं नित्यमानन्दमूर्तिं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। निरूपम् अतिसूक्ष्मं निष्प्रपञ्चं निरीहं गगनसदृशमीशं सर्वभूताधिवासं त्रिगुणरहितसच्चिद्ब्रह्मरूपं वरेण्यं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। वितुरितुम् अवतीर्णं ज्ञानभक्तिः प्रशान्तिप्रणयगलयचित्तं जीवदुःखासहिष्णुं धृतसहजसमाधिं चिन्मयं कोमलाङ्गं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। So now we make the offerings of the 10 items I mentioned at the beginning of the puja. ॐ ऐमेतत्पाद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐमेशोऽर्घ्यः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐमिदं वाच्मनीयोदकं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय स्वधा। ॐ ऐमिदं स्नानीयोदकं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्ष सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो तिष्ठ दशाङ्गुलम्। ॐ अग्निमीळे पुरोहितं यज्ञस्य देवमृत्वजं होतारं रत्नधातमम्। ॐ इथे पूर्वे स्वावायवसदेवो वः सविता प्रार्थयतु श्रेष्ठतमाय कर्मणि। ॐ अग्न आयाहीवीतये गृह्णानो हव्यदातये निहोता सचिवर्हसि। ॐ शन्नो देवीरभीष्टये आपो भवन्तु पीतये शम्भोरभिस्रवन्तु नः। ॐ रामकृष्णाय विद्महे गदाधराय धीमहि तन्नो देवः प्रचोदयात्। सच्चिदानन्दः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐमिदं सचन्दनपुष्पं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐमिदं सचन्दनबिल्वपत्रं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ एतानि सचन्दनतुलसीपत्राणि सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। नमस्ते बहुरूपाय विष्णवे परमात्मने स्वाहा। ॐ ऐमीशधूपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। रामकृष्णाय विद्महे गदाधराय धीमहि तन्नो देवः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ रामकृष्णाय विद्महे गदाधराय धीमहि तन्नो देवः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ रामकृष्णाय विद्महे गदाधराय धीमहि तन्नो देवः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ ऐमीशदीपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ रामकृष्णाय विद्महे गदाधराय धीमहि तन्नो देवः प्रचोदयात्। So until the food comes for offering, I will recite this a couple of shlokas from a hymn that Swami Vivekananda wrote. So he like wrote a lot of songs, not only the ones that became really popular like Khandana Bhavabandhan and Gom Bhrimritam, but so I will just also tell the translation in the beginning. So it is called Achandala Pratihatarayo Yasya Prema Pravaha. So he whose love flowed freely to all, down to the outcast. Oh wonder, although transcending the world, he never gave up working for good of the world. He whose greatness is unmatched in the three worlds, he who was Sita's beloved companion, whose Rama knowledge nature was covered by the Sita's devotion nature. He who as Krishna quelled the noise, terrible like at the time of destruction, arising from the battle of Kurukshetra, who destroyed the terrible yet natural night of ignorance, and who rode out the Gita, sweet and appeasing, that renowned soul is born now as Sri Ramakrishna. So very much suiting the occasion. आचाण्डाल प्रतिहतरयो यस्य प्रेम प्रवाहः लोकातीतो यः न जहौ लोककल्याणमार्गम् त्रैलोक्येऽप्य प्रतिममहिमा जानकी प्राणबन्धो त्रैलोक्येऽप्य प्रतिममहिमा जानकी प्राणबन्धो भक्त्या ज्ञानं धृतवरवपुः सीतया योगिरामः भक्त्या ज्ञानं धृतवरवपुः सीतया योगिरामः स्तब्धीकृत्य प्रलयकलितम् स्तब्धीकृत्य प्रलयकलितं वाहवोत्थं महान्तम् हित्वा रात्रिं प्रकृतिसहजाम् अन्धतामिश्रमिश्रान् हित्वा रात्रिं प्रकृतिसहजाम् अन्धतामिश्रमिश्रान् गीतं शान्तं मधुरमपि यः गीतं शान्तं मधुरमपि यः सिंहनादं जगर्ज सोऽयं जातः प्रथितपुरुषो रामकृष्णस्त्वदान् सोऽयं जातः प्रकृति सोऽयं जातः प्रथितपुरुषो रामकृष्णस्त्वदान्. So the food is here and we won't make delay in offering it. So can somebody Niranjan? ॐ ऐमितं सोपकरणनैवेद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः. वमि तस्मै सोपकरणनैवेद्याय नमः. वमि तस्मै सोपकरणनैवेद्याय नमः. वमि तस्मै सोपकरणनैवेद्याय नमः. वमि तस्मै सोपकरणान्नाय नमः. ॐ ऐमिदं सोपकरणनैवेद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय निवेदयामि. ॐ अमृतोपस्तरणमसि स्वाहा. ॐ प्राणाय स्वाहा. ॐ अपानाय स्वाहा. ॐ उदानाय स्वाहा. ॐ व्यानाय स्वाहा. ॐ समानाय स्वाहा. Now we'll meditate thinking that Thakur is accepting our offerings of food, and in the meanwhile Krishna Kaliji will also serve him with a song. So
Are we going to uncover the food?
it the word.
Oh, you did, I think.
অনন্ত কথা ঠাকুর পেলে তুমি দেখাও মায়ের স্বর্গ চিনে আমি করি অন্ধকূপে না এই ঠাকুর এই ঠাকুর এই মাকে তুমি পাষাণ বলো মানা মেরি সুধা গেল মায়ে বয়ে এমন নাভা আবার মায়ের মুখে অন্যতম তুমি দেবে মিলে তাই দিয়েছ মাকে চিনে এ ঠাকুর এ ঠাকুর এ ঠাকুর তুমি রামকৃষ্ণ তুমি মায়ের মনে খেলা তোমাতেই সাজাবেন মা তার নিজেরই পূজার ডালা হয়ে গো পেলে জেঠা তুমি মায়ের শ্রীচরণে এ ঠাকুর এ ঠাকুর এ ঠাকুর এ ঠাকুর পেলে তুমি মা দেখাও মায়ের স্বর্গ চিনে আমি করে অন্ধ
So we are done with the offering of 10 items and the puja, and now we'll do the arati. And I have distributed the music sheet and lyrics, so it's there with you. Yeah, if you want to, I mean, there's no compulsion. Maybe I think sitting is better. Yeah, you can just sit as you feel comfortable. I mean, there's no requirement as. वचनैका दान, प्रभु मनोवचनैका दान। ज्योतिरज्योतिरुजगदीपङ्कर, ज्योतिरज्योतिरुजगदीपङ्कर, सुमितमभञ्जनः प्रभु सुमितमभञ्जनः। नमो नमो प्रभुवाक्यमनादित, नमो नमो प्रभुवाक्यमनादित, मनोवचनैका दान, प्रभु मनोवचनैका दान। ज्योतिरज्योतिरुजगदीपङ्कर, ज्योतिरज्योतिरुजगदीपङ्कर, सुमितमभञ्जनः प्रभु सुमितमभञ्जनः। रङ्गपङ्कभाजे अङ्गसङ्गमिदं, जय 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 रङ्गपङ्कभाजे अङ्गसङ्गमिदं। गायत्री छन्द भसकवृन्द भारती त्वमां, गायत्री छन्द भसकवृन्द भारती त्वमां। जय जय भारती त्वमां, हर हर भारती त्वमां, शिव शिव भारती त्वमां। जय श्री गुरु महाराज जी की जय। Now everybody can make flower offerings, and there will be some songs. First we'll do Om Gimrita. गमनाय तत्त्वं भद्रो विजये न च भाति किञ्चित् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो Now we are doing Ramakrishna Sharana. Now means Bhavasagara Karana Karanahe. Skill. Na, e. Ramakrishna is everybody done with the offering? Is everybody, those who wanted to? Okay. So now we can proceed and have the prasad.
Ramakrishna